My name is MAZI TAMI REMI, and this is Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast. I am not saying that some people from Facebook are complaining of our sound. I hope it is better now. I hope it is coming out. I hope we're coming out clearer. But we must continue, we must pray. We must pray. Elohim, our Father in heaven, we pray, we worship you for your good works, for your mercy, for your guidance, for your leading. We pray for every Biafran worldwide, that you continue to guide us aright, to lead us in the path of truth and in the path of light. Elohim, our Father, we pray, O Lord, that you continue to guide us in the ways of your spirits, that you continue to lead us to be able to differentiate the truth and the lie and the deception. Lord, we pray for Nnamdi Kanu. We pray that you will continue to guide and protect him, that where he is, no matter what he goes through, he shall remain strong and resolute on this course that you have called him, that at the end Biafra shall be restored. We also pray for our men in the forest that are doing the needful to see to it that our land is safe and sound and secured. I will pray against all those evil people in our land, the politicians, and those they bribe to ensure that they crumble this freedom movement. All those they have bribed to see to it that our movement, the movement for the restoration of Biafra, is truncated halfway, to frustrate our efforts, to frustrate the effort of the people. We pray that these ones shall never, ever be able to succeed, that irrespective of what they do on our land, they shall never be able to succeed, that the enemies of our land, these ones that drink our water, these ones that walk upon our land, and at the same time they walk against the freedom of the same land on which they walk upon. Lord, we pray that that sand that they walk upon shall swallow them. We pray that the water that they drink shall haunt them until they go down the earth. Abba, Father, we worship you. We thank you. And we say, let your name be glorified forever. We say, let your name be praised forever. For any difficult time as this, we have only you to worship. We have only you to praise. Our hope is in you. Our hope is not in the strength of man's abilities, but our hope is in the strength of your ability. Our hope is in your wisdom. Our hope is in all that you do for us and all that you do to truncate the forces of our enemies. For definitely we know that they shall try. They will surely try. But they shall only try because they will never succeed. They will never succeed in all that they do. They will never succeed in their manipulations. Thank you, Abba Father. We praise your holy name. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening once again, Biafrans. The time is 10:12 a.m. in the holy land of Biafra. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night to all of you, depending on where you're listening to us from. And we are going to take a little break. And after the break, we shall continue.
Hey yo, KB here, and I'm from Zambia. Check out my album, The Last Dance, on Boomplay.
It's time for our freedom. Cause we can never let them negotiate our freedom. Hundreds of years it's gone. No Messiah came for the black man. Told us that Jesus died for the black man to suffer. The truth be said, Africa will rise at the right time, and the time we're waiting for is right now. No one can hold the truth for a long time. So stay away. The sun is risen from the east, and the Messiah you wait is right here. And no one is gonna try to stop that. I can hear a great call for justice. Let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Song of salvation. Let Africa rise. Freedom for Biafra. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Self-determination celebrated. Black and sick for self-determination is the separatists and the terrorists. With the jail a black freedom fighter, the jail in African freedom. Don't I have rights to my self-determination? Is that a crime? Oh no. Don't I have rights to live? Don't I have rights to express myself? Don't I have rights to speak? Can't I complain if I'm marginalized? There's genocide in the land that nobody even cared about. Even when I try to speak, my voice is muted every time. Like a slave in my land, I can't take it anymore. I hope the world is listening to my plight. I can hear a great call for justice. Let the sun rise. Freedom for Biafra. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Biafra. Free Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom Africa.
Il corso di cucina etnica, la mostra del momento, il Sunday.
Yes, you can. Thank you.
Good. By way of introduction, I am your in-law. I prefer to be known as a historian rather than as a barrister, although law and the practice of law has been my occupation for the last 30-something years. But there is a connection between the two, because it's my training as a lawyer that has helped me in putting the pieces of the jigsaw together when I've got my hat as a historian on. Because I like to say that unlike those who read history formally as a degree, my knowledge of history was driven out of self-tuition, but using the forensic skills of a lawyer. And you know, we lawyers, when we're in court, when people bring their witness statements, what we say is that, okay, very well, that's your version of events. But we know that the truth and the real story lies in between the narrative that you're bringing to the courtroom. And it's the same approach that I've taken in terms of the study of Nigeria's history, that the books that were written, largely written by the British colonials and their offspring, that is their evidence, that's their testimony. But what is the real story? One thing that I want you to understand is this. history is not something that happened. History is something that is happening, even as we speak. And I don't think any group in Nigeria is better placed to understand that than the Biafrans. It is still with us. It is still with you. The consequences, the effects are still being felt even as we speak. The second point is this: history is never static. It is always moving. Why? Because there's always new evidence that is emerging. Take, for example, the narrative and the evidence of Mr. Harold Smith. That was not available until, in fact, in full form, wasn't available until we published his story, the Harold Smith story, earlier this year. Some people had managed to get access to the manuscript, but now the story and that evidence is available. But let's bear in mind that there is still evidence that's hidden away, that there is a box of documents that is still classified, not to be released until 2060. They are applying what they call the 100-year rule. So some documents are so sensitive that they've been classified not to be released for 100 years. So until 2060, by which time I suspect most in this audience would have passed on. So there's still relevant evidence that's being withheld. And then putting my lawyer hat on, we know that if we are seeking to find out what really happened, and if you have evidence which is potentially relevant to the issues that we are considering, and if you fail to bring that evidence to the table for consideration, the court is entitled to presume against you and draw adverse inferences that what you are withholding is incriminating. So if there's nothing to hide, that box needs to be open and needs to be open now. But let me, in terms of the substance of what I want to talk about, I want to talk about a number of things. I want to talk about that January 15, 1966 coup. I want to talk about Decree 34 and the counter coup of July 1966 and the other pogroms that followed. I want to talk about the British role in that war and under the premiership of Harold Wilson. And then I want to, if time allows, share a reading with you from my mother-in-law's book that I helped her to put together, which I think many of you will be able to relate to. But let's start with the January 15 coup. This remains the core issue. It was labeled an Igbo coup, a coup by the Igbos to grab power. That's the narrative that's always been pushed. But as I said, history is never static. New evidence bubbles up and new questions arise. And on the basis of my research, I can see that that narrative is false. And central to that is a number of items of evidence. The first item is this. There's a book titled The Prospects for Democracy. It was written by Chief H.O. Davis, and it was published in January 1961. As a publisher, if a book is published in January 1961, you can assume that it was in production, research, etc., probably a good at least a year and possibly 2 years before. So Independence is 1960. This book is published January 1961. But I was struck by some of the contents of this book. Chapter 2 was titled Military Regime in Burma, Pakistan and Sudan. What did those territories have in common apart from military regimes at that time? They were all former British colonies. And here's some interesting extracts from that book. There's one quotation. The breakdown of parliamentary government in the countries under study, that is Burma, Pakistan and Sudan, carries with it no implication that some other system of democratic governments might not have succeeded where the cabinet government system has failed. We have suggested that a system in which the executive and the legislative functions are separated, as in the American presidential system, would appear to be preferable in newly established democracies. So they all started out with a parliamentary system, all ended up with the presidential system. And you can still remind this book was published in 1961, our presidential system came in 1979. So here's been anticipated. Next quote. The real adjustment is the economic development and industrialization calculated to effect a balance between the developed state of parliamentary institution and the improvements in education, industry and technology. The disequilibrium may be so severe that temporary expedients of military regime are called for. The tendency is to withdraw the more advanced parliamentary machine while the development of the complementary institutions of education and industry are speeded up. What are they saying there essentially is this, that the parliamentary system is a very sophisticated system and requires a high level of economic development and industrialization to really make it work. Where you have a situation as we had in Nigeria, where there's insufficient economic development and industrialization, you really can't afford a parliamentary system. You need a presidential system, and the temporary expedient to get you there is military regime. Here's a third quote. Nigeria has a very small army and a nucleus of a navy. It has no air force. Again, bear in mind, this is speaking at January 1961. This is a good omen in the light of our analysis, which minimizes the possibility of a military coup. In the 1959 election manifesto of the NPC, there is a demand for the formation of a large army and expansion of the navy, and the formation of the nucleus of an air force and the expansion of the police force. No reasons were given. Indeed, none can be given in a manifesto. There is no doubt that in formulating their policy, the MPC leaders gave due weight to the dangerous possibilities of a large army and an expanded air force at the present stage of the country's development. So there you are, 1961. It's been said it's a good thing. The things that might make military coup possible are not there. Small army, nucleus, small nucleus of a navy, and no air force.
Deception to divide us. So they pretend to hate the people in the hinterland more. But the people they truly hate the most are the people in the coast. The people they are punished the most in this their contraction called the zoo called Nigeria are the people in the coast. And the question is, why do they hate the people in the coast the most? We are the ones that know them the most. We know Britain more than any other people in Nigeria. We know them. We know their strength. We know their deception. We have fallen to their deception many times. They hate the people in the hinterland because we are one and the same people. But the people in the hinterland do not know them as much as the people in the coast know them. Our people in the hinterland only got to start knowing Britain very, very much in the 1960s when they unleashed genocide on our land. Or not really like knowing them, but knowing their antics very, very well. Meanwhile, we in the coast, we have done business with these people for about 500 years at least. With Europeans. Directly. While our business was directly with the Europeans, our brothers in the hinterland were doing business with us in the coast. That was how it was. By the time the white men, which is actually Britain, started going into the hinterland to do business, we had already started having problems with them in the coast. And it wasn't too long before they started having problems in the hinterland. Because when they were going into the hinterland, as at the time they were going into the hinterland, they were not going for business anymore, per se. They were going to conquer. So when the people saw them, they perceived that, oh, these people are coming to rule over us, and reactions. So that time to get to know them was not much. It was until that war that we got to know the antics of the British man very, very well. I mean, in the hinterland. Even though in that genocide, they still succeeded in deceiving many people in the coast. It's not just the coast. They deceived us all through all around. The deception is massive. It's great. A deception that is sealed with blood. These guys are masters of deception. I am going into history to explain because we are experiencing the same thing today. Deception, the British strategy of war. That is their most potent strategy of war. Deception. I am not saying they are not strong. Most especially when they faced our forefathers, they were very strong because they had guns that our forefathers didn't have. Even with our more inferior weapons, we still gave them a very strong fight. Gave them very, very strong fight that they were amazed and they were surprised. That was the deception. Don't know why somebody will be calling me at this time when you should know that I should be on air, I should be broadcasting. Okay? Don't just call like that. Sometimes you chat before you call. So as I was saying, these people have masterminded this deception before they even started fighting us. Don't forget, they started with business. They started fighting us very much later, hundreds of years later. When they first came to our land, they started doing business, different kinds of business. Slave trade wasn't the only business that they were doing. One of the major businesses they were doing on our land, in fact, one of the major things that brought them here, the major things that brought them to Biafra land to do business, it wasn't slave trade. Slave trade wasn't the major thing. When they came here, they saw slave trade was already in action. The people that first of all started buying Africans for slavery are the Arab people. They were the ones buying Africans, but they were not leaving Africans to give birth to their young, because they will castrate the men, so they cannot reproduce. That's why you don't have black people in Arab nations. So they were the ones that they had already started doing the business. It was a very major business that the Arabs were doing. But what brought Europeans here were other things that they came to buy. But in Biafra land, they came to buy palm oil. Palm oil was the major business that they came here to buy. When they went to Ghana, they came there for gold. To Sierra Leone for diamond. And all of that, they were going all around the world trying to get things. Businessmen, business merchants. And it is a normal thing in the world. Different people go to places, buy things that they need, go back to their countries. They kept trading with us. And while they were trading with us, you know, when you're trading with somebody, sometimes you become friends. Sometimes you argue. And you begin to know how these people think. You begin to know these people they're not fools. They are smart people. They know how to manage their markets properly. They know how to manage their business with you. They know how to manage themselves to get gain from their business with you. You can cheat them. And we also know how to relate with them. We also know that these people sometimes they try to cheat us. Sometimes they want to get everything that they want to get for a minimal amount. And all of that. And then when they come here to get palm oil, they bring some other things that they have produced in their side. Because most of what they bring for us was not natural resources, because they didn't have them in abundance. That's why they were going all over the world. Most of what they were bringing to us were things that they produced. And we valued those things because we did not have them. Okay? They gave us some of their guns. And we gave them a lot. Actually, because we did not have access to, we didn't have these things. Most of our forefathers thought, these things were worth it. Trade by barter, but they were giving us far less than we were giving them. But we had those things in abundance. They didn't have them in abundance. We didn't have those things that they produced in abundance, and the business was going on. But they noticed that we were becoming wiser, and we're beginning to make more demands. You know the principle of demand and supply. So we're beginning to make more demands. Because they needed what we had more than we needed what they were bringing. So we were now making more demands of what they were bringing in exchange of what we had. And they saw it like, we need what they have, and if we continue like this, we will go bankrupt, and they will get richer. And of course, we were actually rich. We had almost absolutely need of nothing. So they started studying us, becoming friends. That is why you will notice in the coast, many people bear the names of European surnames. It was because of relationship, friendship. And this man will now name his child, because this man is traveling, his friend has traveled and come. He will now name his child by this his friend. Just to remember that's his friend. His business associate has become his friend. His customer has become his friend. So that's why when you go all over the coast, you begin to hear certain names. Boniface, Fine Face. Certain names, certain European names are surnames, not first names. Begin to hear certain names. These things came as a result of long-term relationship. And while we were relating with open hearts, these people were studying us, studying our strengths, studying our weaknesses, studying our spirituality. And when they felt they were done studying us, they came together and declared that they are going to own Africa. And they started their deception. Even before they did that owning of Africa, they started creating division amongst us. Among most of the Izo territories that were at the mouth of the coast, that were most of the people doing this business massively with these foreigners, they started creating division amongst them. And most of these people fought themselves over and over again because of the business relationship with the foreigners. Brothers against brothers. You see kingdoms, Izo kingdoms like Kalabari, Okrika, Nembe, different Izo kingdoms had issues. Sometimes they fight themselves strong. Boni, Ipob, you have histories of wars amongst themselves. These are people that when they speak, they understand each other. You have to understand. They are not like, okay, we are the same people, but we don't understand each other. No. When the Kalabari Izo man speaks, the Bani man understands what he's saying. 90%. He understands what he's saying. He knows that this man is my brother. But because sometimes those that have boundaries, they fight each other. Why do they fight? The business. Most especially kingdoms, Izo kingdoms like Okrika and Kalabari, they fought each other a lot because of these white man's business. In those days, many wars, bloody wars. Sometimes within the same kingdom, communities against communities will fight each other because of disagreement with the business. And all these fights were planted on purpose. These fights were planted on purpose to divide. All these things were as a result of deception. It is the same thing that Shell does. Shell. Any community that Shell is involved in, there is no peace in that community. If that area that Shell is covering the territories of about 3 communities, you will see that those 3 communities will keep on fighting each other here and there, here and there. If there's only one community, it is either the elders are having problem with the youths, or the youths are having problem with the elders, or there is just one thing or the other, one problem or the other, deception. Shell is on our land just as the Royal Niger Company was, the same British company. So that same deception is what they use. Very, very powerful. If they notice that these people are powerful, they study what is their strength, their unity. Their unity is their strength. Okay, if their unity is their strength, what unites them? What unites them? When they find out what unites the people, then they begin to attack what unites the people. Then when they find out, okay, the people have so much fear and reverence for their elders, then they begin to see how they buy up the elders. And that is the case of most African places. Mostly in Biafra land, we have so much respect for elders. And in this movement, we have gone thus far because we discovered this, and to a very great extent, we don't disrespect our elders, but those ones that present themselves to be used by the enemies, we cut them off. We keep them where they are and we focus on the goal. That is why we have been able to come this far. That is how our leader has taught us, has led us to this extent that we have come in this struggle. Because we have understood their strategies of deception, how they set people against people and plunge them against themselves. Biafra is one of the most powerful places in the world. Why? We believe with our life, our land. We believe our land with our life. And provided if Biafrans leave their land, we are going to respect the people that we are occupying their land. We usually do that. When we leave our land to other people's lands, we respect them and allow their laws when they say, okay, these are our do's and these are our don'ts. We respect the people. We respect people on their land. But when we are on our land, we must of necessity have life to be lived the way we live our life on our land. And we can die on that. When you try, no matter what you do, when you try to make Biafrans not to live the way we naturally live on our land, we will die with you. We can die on that. And that is what makes us powerful. Irrespective of the fact that we might be people that, okay, I believe in this, I believe in that, or we usually have different opinions. We usually have different opinions about a particular thing, and we are not the people that are easily beaten into submission. When you don't make sense, you say things that don't make sense. You don't just beat us into submission. That is not our nature. That is not our nature. That's why sometimes our leaders take time to explain certain things so that Biafrans will not misunderstand certain good actions. Because he knows how Biafrans reason. In Biafra land, we reason together. You must make sense. You must make sense. So, not when the enemies are on our land and the enemies want us, okay, we must accept. It's not possible. So, Biafra is one of the most potent. So, but the enemies have discovered that to divide Biafrans is not difficult. It's not a very difficult thing because we are independent people. Every man is independent in Biafra. Every man. This one is not, this one is my king. This one, every man has his own mind. Every man is a king in his own house. That is Biafra. Every man is a king in his own house. Even somebody that is your child, somebody that is your son, the moment he becomes an adult and goes to live on his own, is not everything that you will tell him that he will do. When you tell him things, he will first of all bring what you have told him, analyze it, and see how it is going to benefit him. It is not what will benefit you as a father that the son will do. The son will look at how will this advice my dad is giving me, how will it benefit me before he carries it out. So it is not about because you are the father, then you must accept everything that you say. How will it benefit me? That is our nature. Anything that contradicts this nature is unnatural with us. Anything that goes against this nature is unnatural. When you try to beat Biafrans to submission, it's unnatural. It doesn't work. So because of this, it becomes very easy for people that are masters of deception to divide Biafran people. And we have been on this. Most of the things that we've been writing and saying from the inception of this struggle is to educate all Biafrans to come together from the coast to the hinterland, irrespective of what you speak or how you speak it, or from whatever community that you're from, that we all are facing the same extermination, and we must come together as one to free ourselves and free our land. That has been the message. We must come together as one single entity of strength to free ourselves and free our land, irrespective of the deception that the enemy tries to throw from the right, from the left, from inside, from within, from without. However the enemy tried to throw this deception, what is important is that first and foremost, we understand the goal of the enemy. You know, the scriptures declare that the devil comes not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And Yeshua was speaking, he said, I have come to give you life. The zoo and Britain had come to steal from us, to kill us, and to destroy us, wipe us out of the surface of the earth. Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has come to give us life, and give us this life in abundance. That is why we say Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. But what is most important is that we should never forget the teachings of our leader. We should never forget the principles of our leader. We should never forget the ways of our leader, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. We should never forget the mindset of our leader, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. We should never forget the leading of our leader. They might have him in their detention, cut him off. They refuse to take him to prison, where our leader can talk to people directly. They refused because they want to keep us confused. They want to keep us divided. Their mission is to sponsor deception, lies, propaganda, to keep us scattered and divided. They claim that the DSS detention is the most secure place. But our leader is crying out right now. The lawyers are letting us know that our leader is being tortured where he is, and his safety is not guaranteed. But a judge told us that they will not take him to prison because of his safety, but rather the place that they kept him, where they are the only ones that have power over that place, they are subjecting him to torture. They are subjecting him to inhumane treatments. This is not right. Obviously, the zoo have never done anything that is right. The question is, why do they want to leave our leader in detention where he cannot speak to people freely except through people? So that when messages come like that, people can doubt and people can argue. But when our leader gives the message directly, calls somebody and gives the message, because he can confirm it. If he calls one person and gives a message, and that person wants to manipulate the message, he can call another person. So we know that nobody can manipulate the message. So there will be no cause for alarm. There will be no cause for distractions. There will be no cause for arguments. Almost all the arguments that are going on, all the fights, this one is accusing this one of this and that one accusing that one of this, all because our leader is in detention and only few people have access to hear from him. And this is the strategy of our enemy. This these are the strategies of our enemies. Our lawyers have requested that he should be taken to prison. At least there is a little form of freedom in prison. But now they are keeping him in DSS detention. DSS detention, where people cannot just go and visit him. People of goodwill cannot just go and pay him visits. Anybody that wants to visit him, they will have to scrutinize you. Like there were times where they will have to strip our lawyers naked to search them all through. It just in order to demoralize you and put fear in you, so that probably they can oppress you. So the main purpose why they want to leave him there in detention is to continue to sponsor deception, is to continue to sponsor and distractions, is to continue to sponsor division amongst the house, amongst those that are sincere. Because I have seen that most of the people, there are many people, many people that are either on this side or on this other side or on that other side. Many of them are sincere. Let's not assume it's not everybody that has collected money from the enemy. I myself, I don't know. I don't have any evidence of anybody that has collected money, though there's a way some people talk that doesn't go in line. There's a way some people talk that looks suspicious. But when we want to make accusations, we should have evidences. I don't make silly accusations without evidence. Though when people show certain body movements, you can make your conclusions, or you can make your suspicions. But it is very, very obvious, it is very, very clear that most of these disagreements have not been coming from people that have been bribed. If they have bribed everybody at the top, what about those following? Are they also bribed those following? That are either for here or for here. How much do they have to bribe everybody that is in IPOB? That is speaking either for this side or for this side. These things were planned. These things were planned. But irrespective of what they plan, they are failing. It is obvious that they are failing. But even though they are failing, we must be discreet. We must ensure, first and foremost, whatever the plan of the enemy is. I repeat, I keep saying it. One of the major plans of the enemy is to do thorough combing. That is the reason they have sent the army on our land. To do thorough combing, focus on our men. Comb them, keep battling them until they get weak. So, our focus right now should be on strengthening our men. Let our men be able to contend with these forces that have been sent to sweep them. That is our last hope. That is our last hope. So while they put certain actions, do certain things, project certain deceptions into our struggle, they are focused, busy, focused, putting all their energies in combing our men on the ground. You must understand that our men on the ground are facing serious hits. They are strong, but it's not when they are not getting every support from each and every one of us. They are strong, yes, but every man has his limits. And we must never allow our men to get close to their limit, not to talk about to get to their limits. If they are coming to our communities killing our people, going to the forest to go and look for our men, and be battling them over there, what are we doing in return? We should be doing even much more. That is what the battle is. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me and I hit you. Of course, our men are trying, they are replying, but it's still not enough. It's not because they are not strong enough, but because they need each and every one of us. That's why it is very, very important that if they call for fundraising, wherever you are, try to put efforts to ensure that it goes through successfully. Because there will be need for it by our men. There is nothing that will give to them that will be enough. Armed struggle is not cheap. Not like we are full in armed struggle, but ESN is armed and defending our land. And it is not easy for them. We must support them. The terrorists are coming in different disguise. We must support them. We must stand by them. However you can, you must support the ESN. You must. Because that is our last hope. Provided ESN is strong and every other people that are standing and fighting against the terrorists on our land are strong. Provided they are strong and withstanding these people. If they are strong and withstanding them, we can sustain this struggle. We can keep talking. Provided they are strong there, we can sustain this struggle for as long as it takes. But the day they finish combing our men and we have nobody in the bushes to fight for us, whatever we are saying here is rubbish. It will hold no water. And if our leader is not out by that time, they will be talking another story. So our last hope are our men in the forest, and we must do everything to support them. We must do everything to secure them. We must do everything to ensure that they get all they need. Forget the strategies, they know how to work on that. You can't give them strategies. They are better than you. They are trained in it. They are experienced men. You are not the one to give them strategies. What you need to do is to give them the support that they need. These are men that have given themselves for the salvation of our land. And every other works that we are doing, because the leadership is working, going to places, educating people and all of that. But that would not be enough if our men are not strongly countering these forces. Because our leader said it. That they will come, but they will not go back. Now they have come. The question is, are we going to let them to go back? We won't. That is why we must do everything that we must do to support ESN. They have come in military uniforms. They came in civilian wears and they failed. Now they have come in military uniform. They will also fail. But that will solely depend on what we do and how we do it. The United States today is claiming that they have not seen all the brutality that have happened in Biafra land. South, and southeast of the zoo called Nigeria. In the southwest, in Odua land, which is Yoruba. In the middle belt, and even in the north, how Christians are being killed and the government is doing nothing. And how innocent people are being killed and the government is doing nothing. And now the American government has removed the name of Nigeria from the list of countries that are sponsoring religious violence. The list of countries that are sponsoring religious violence. Okay, very, very good. We are going to be hearing from one of our correspondents on ground concerning our leader's case in Abia State. Okay, before we open the lines for people to call, we will have to hear from her. She's the one that is calling. Let me see how I can call her back so that Biafrans can be aware of our leader's court case in Abia State. Because hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Now, Biafrans are listening to you. We want to know what is going on in Abia State concerning that court case, our leader's court case in the state. What is going on there?
Okay, good morning, dear fans listening all over the world. Actually, today is the court case of our leader here in Umuahia, and the case has just been adjourned to 10th of December 2021. And let me say that today's hearing was just based on preliminary hearing, and the eight respondents ranging from the DSS, Attorney General of Police, Attorney General, the Inspector General of Police, the Army General, and other respondents who were included in the suit. Their counsels were all present today, and they pleaded for extension of time to go through all the applications. And the judge assured that on the next hearing, the judge assured us that on the hearing that will be given, and also the judgment will be given as well. So, and it's surprising to say that even before the court went into proceeding, the judge himself bashed the Nigerian security personnel who barricaded the court premises, and he gave an order that the security agencies are not expected to be seen anywhere in the court premises, and as such, he has the power to say so. And he really bashed the security agencies. In his explanations, he made it known that the court is accessible to any individual, and there's no need for security barricade. And from what we heard from MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, special counsel, he said that even before he drove into the court, that he was harassed by the security men. And let's say that the judge also had gone through such treatment. Maybe that is why he made it clear today that no security agent is expected to be seen around the court henceforth. So, as I said earlier, the court was finally adjourned to 10th of December 2021, and also during his address, which is by every issue of similar issues has been sorted out today. So in the next hearing, the judge will be given a judgment today. Let me also remind dear friends that the case in Umuahia court is between MAZI Kanu and 8 respondents, which includes the DSS, which includes federal DSS and also Abia State DSS, the Inspector General of Police, the Army General in the suit, and this suit is as to the violation of his human rights and the invasion of his house on the 14th September 2017. And we are, IPOB is pleading, is asking the court to grant Nnamdi a 5 billion naira compensation as to the invasion of his house, which led to the killing of 28 people, including his parents and other people who were involved in the massacre. So Mazi, this is all I have to say for the court. No, sir.
Okay, so you say it's 10th of December, right? Hello?
Say.
Yeah, you said it is 10th.
Yes, sir. What did you say?
10th of December, right?
Yeah, 10th of December 2021.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you see that we are following this matter from every angle. We are following this matter from every angle. The case in Abia State, which is the home state of our leader, is about the invasion of our leader's house. Like the correspondent Nwada Guchinyere said, the invasion of our leader's house on the 14th of September 2017. So now they have adjourned that one again. You see, adjournment. Let us see if on the 10th we'll still be here to talk about it. Let us see if they are going to talk about anything again or whether they are going to adjourn it as they usually do. So that is that for now, and we are going to be opening the lines so that our people can call in. We can have a little time to chat, to talk about what you have to say, and we move on in one spirit and in one soul. The lines are now open. So we are waiting. You can call in. You can call in if you want to. And the lines to call, if you want to call on Skype, just type Radio Biafra VOC. That is the line to call on Skype. Then the line to call on Signal, it is +45 7164 5962. That is the line to call on Signal. Then the line to call on WhatsApp is +48 7396 45102. +48 7396 45102. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, Mazi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning from. Well, my name is Presence. I'm calling from Senegal, and I've been hearing you all the while. And I want to thank you for especially your teaching day before yesterday and yesterday, and also the one you are doing this morning. So, secondly, I just want to say something in this our vision, because the vision of Nnamdi is our vision. So, I just want everybody to be focused. If devil did not trap on something, that thing has no value. Any battle you are fighting and devil did not come in between, you know that the hand of God is not in that battle. But because God's hands is on this battle, you will expect all these noises you are hearing. But I call them a noise because they are not capable of discouraging anybody except you are not sincere. even in our roles as a Christian, if you are living a life and devil has never brought an obstacle on your way, just go back and ask yourself a question: what is going on with you? Any journey you began, devil must be there to do his own, but you must stand firm. So secondly, last night I couldn't sleep. The reason till this morning I couldn't sleep, why I was crying, praying, asking God mercy on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. That guy has paid a higher price. And if all of us will put ourselves in his shoe, we will feel his pain and will take a right actions. But if we are seeing he's our leader, you are not feeling that you are the one also in that prison, you will now be able to act positively. My dear, that man is suffering there. For these lawyers to come out yesterday and publish the clear truth, you could know what that guy is going through. And he's going through that, expecting us to do the right thing. And so many others are like Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot is not saying they collected money or whatever. I'm not interested about that. I'm not a gossiper. I hate it. But Judas Iscariot is because they left the vision that God has given to them in the name of Nnamdi Kanu and be pursuing wind. Why are you fighting your brother? Why are you calling names? Why are you saying this one is this one, this one? Leaving behind your victory, leaving behind your victor. I mean your freedom, leaving behind your leader. You are not thinking about him. You go to bed and sleep. Yet this man cannot sleep on the bed, on the phone, nothing. You don't know how the skills. You have never been in cantonment, prison before. You have not been there. I myself am experienced a prison.
Hello. Hello. Okay. I think we're having a little challenge.
Okay.
Yes, we're not hearing you. Continue. Round up. Your time is almost up. Thank you. Oh, no. Sorry, we'll have to have challenge with the network. Okay, some people are trying to call us. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning to Radio Biafra Voice. Good morning from Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast, your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Amechi. I'm calling you from Netherlands. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So, my brother, I want to tell you that the time is now. You know, we can no longer keep waiting. Not because we have been delayed, but because it is the right time now to move on. You know, whatever we have to do to free ourselves now is now. Because the whole world have heard our case. Our case has gone to beyond the structures of this world. You know, the zoo is not a sincere people. That's why you are not hearing everything outside. The Biafra has been created since June. That time that Buhari went to visit Pupu's Odema. Biafra was created before then by the world leaders at the UN. These people did not want to make it open, and Ohanes Ndigbo is hiding everything from you, while they are convincing the powers that is.
Hello, sorry, Mazi. Biafra Biafra is not being created by any man. Biafra has been there even before the zoo called Nigeria. Okay.
It has been approved. I am telling you something. I am.
What we do here is we don't just come and talk, and if any of such information is to come, it comes from the Directorate of States.
Do you know me?
Hello, Mazi.
Do you know me?
Mazi.
I said,
I don't.
Do you know me?
I don't need to know you. I am telling you the way things are supposed to be. Okay? Something that is not verified, it might be true, but something that is not verified yet is not what we come to radio to talk about.
Okay, give my number to your DOS. I'm the one that is controlling everything that is happening there. As I'm talking to you, the whole world.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra for the folks. Your name and where you calling from?
MAZI TAMI, good afternoon for all of the year. I remember the correct. You know why I'm laughing? Let me appreciate our beloved leader, MAZI Nnamdi, Kanu, their memory of their tribute pleasure and his listeners, being the need for, and every fanaticals, men of all radicals, my temple for all of you, wherever you are. Yeah, MAZI, I am a chronic, and I have for my colleagues of Biafra land. MAZI, why I'm laughing is because of this our brother who said that Biafra was created. Biafra have been there, and if there is anything, they must hear from DOS.
And
this is the information.
Is the one running DOS. Can you imagine? Our people can have very loud mouths.
That one of this idiot died and buried the Saudi Arabia campaign said that you are coming to no, it's a fallacy. It's just as good as what our people are going to listen every day by day. MAZI, I don't want to mention them because if you start mentioning them here, it's as good as promoting them. We don't promote them, but what we are telling our people is to stop all this side listening. Stop listening side by side. Stop getting your information from Facebook. MAZI, the funniest thing is this. Those of them in Facebook that are ranting, those of them that are in Facebook, like the one in UK, I don't want to mention them from Akwa Ibom. MAZI, these people, none of them, even in this Europe where we are, none of them have traveled from one place to another to identify with their fellow comrade, where they are doing their protest, what they are doing. But you see all of them talking about even the, anyway, this is why we call them COVID-19. Most of them have not even gone up to 1 year. And there is one thing I said yesterday in MAZI platform. Show your receipt of monthly payments, even 2,000 alone, because 2,000 has not ended. People come, they start deceiving our people, and we continue to tell our people, please, stop listening to this gossiper. Stop listening from Facebook. Whatever you did not hear from this hallowed platform, forget it not and avoid. We have a lot of things, and the DOS and the Radio Biafra is giving us what we're supposed to hear, and we must anchor whatever we're saying based on that place. Unlike the analysis this morning, I wanted to say something. Oh my God. MAZI, I wanted to say something now, but because of what is happening, MAZI, because of what is happening now, happening and continue to happen. Yesterday, people saw the press release from our lawyer. There are issues we're supposed to be discussing. MAZI, there are issues we're supposed to be looking into. Our issue is not a gossip. There are issues that is bothering this struggle here and there. Our problem is to make sure that we work towards one unison to make sure that our union will come out. And there are prophecies that are coming here and there. We are only believing that Chukwu Kabiyama will take control, because this is a big family actually. Many things are bound to happen, but how did you settle when it happens? We have a lot of things in our hand. Those of them that are deceiving our people, talking nonsense. This is not the time. Because at the end of the day, all of us are going back there. When you have to say something in this platform, you have to guide your mouth. You have to check it in and out. This thing I'm going to say now. How will it affect our people in Biafra land? How will it affect your fellow comrades? How will it affect our ESN, people that is fighting for you day in, day night? Mosquito is biting them here, it's rainy season now. We have not cared. How do they stay in that place? They need to flee that place. They need to do a lot of things. And DOS and the leadership of IPOB is doing everything. And Mazi, before I continue, let me not forget, I send you the fundraising and the flyer and the coupled with your voice from Mazi, which is Nachi, South American rep. Please, their fundraising is coming up. We have to announce it and play the voice. Please, when you play, I send it to you, and it's on all platforms. Please, it's very, very important because this is what you remember. This is what you people instructed all the continental by HOD to do now, and this is what they're going to do. Let people gather together and see how we can start raising funds to do the needful. It's not time of too much talking. It's time of actually the situation we are in is very dicey. So I come to encourage our people. Please, we have talked and we have talked and we have okay. Stop listening to these our people in Facebook. There are people you can follow. Is that your point there? We will send the messages. You can follow him and some other people that are check us in. There are a lot of people who are know what they are doing. Follow these people and whatever they think is Gabadai, you better chat. Please. This is what I have to tell my people this morning. Thank you very much, my brother. So let us take another call. Thank you.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
MAZI TAMI REMI, African rep. I like you so much, very, very well, because you hit the nail at the point. My name is Nnamdi. Nnamdi is from Umunze in Biafra land. I'm calling from Russia. MAZI TAMI,
my brother.
You know what I love so much in you? When you come, you said the actual thing. Because sometimes our people in this broadcast, to listen to Radio Biafra sometimes tired me these days. You understand? I go to social media, I gossip. I come to Radio Biafra sometimes, gossip also. But it's only you that bring joy in me. What I want to tell our people is this. Mostly our leaders. They should know that all these Fudofus, all these governors, and all these kings, they don't mean well for us. Our leaders have said all these things since. All these governors, they don't mean well for us. What they want is only them and their family. And we, as a human being, we reason very well. Some of us in this Europe, or some of us in village, have not been in common cell, common ordinary cell. We have not been there. So we don't know how it feels. Like me, I have been in many cells. You understand? So I know how it feels. I know what our leaders is passing through. Not somebody to come and on Radio Biafra and tell us to come or to cool down or this to change words. We know without even going to social media and listening to their gossip. We reason we are human beings. After our leader court case, what did the leadership supposed to come and do to address Biafrans? We don't only rely on press release from Imapoafu. No. Okay, after this information that these lawyers bring out yesterday, what did the leaders of IPOB need to come and do? Is to address Biafra because everybody is angry. Everybody is angry. This man have suffered a lot. Then people will come here and start telling us that we go and without going to social media, we know what is happening. Without listening to anybody, we know, we have grown up to know our left and right. So nobody should come and tell us we go to social media and listen to this, listen to that. We are human beings. We listen very well. We put our shoe in our leader's shoe. So that's what I want to, that impression that I want to correct. People should know how they talk. We are human beings. We know what is happening. The leaders should come and address us. And I appeal to our people to support ESN. That's the only hope we get. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Hello. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, my leader, good afternoon.
Good morning from here. Welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast.
Yes, thank you so much for taking my call. Thank you so much, my leader. I just want to thank you so much for those analysis and also thank our sister from Umaya who has updated us on what is happening in Umaya. I also want to appreciate the men and women that came in yesterday and enlightened us on what we need to do to achieve our goal. But especially I want to thank our veteran that has done the needful, come to put us through. Actually, when he was speaking, I was actually bleeding in my heart, what they went through during this time. So I appreciate all of you for what you're doing, and I know that the message is coming very close. I wouldn't agree with anyone saying that we are gossiping in Radio Biafra or we are gossiping in Radio Biafra. So I wouldn't like people saying that. You understand? So what I'm saying this is I want to support what everybody have said in terms of
okay, sorry, Mazi. Sorry. Sometimes it's not personal opinions. I think if you want to say your own opinion, you can come on air and say your own opinion. Sometimes I don't I support this one, I disagree with this one. It doesn't make so much sense. You understand? He has made his opinion and it is fine. Okay? The other thing, I don't want us to begin to argue on radio. We don't have all the time. Other people have something else that they might want to say. Is that okay? So sorry, let me take other calls right now.
I've not said anything and then you're cutting me off.
Oh yeah, continue.
Yes, I'm not supporting anybody or doing this, but we are not gossiping on Radio Biafra, which I will not agree with that.
Of course, we don't gossip on Radio Biafra.
Yes, and then supporting what OK is saying is not supporting OK, but on the terms of uniting our people together. I want to talk on something that he said that he wants to speak on. I'm not supporting him as an individual, but supporting on what he says. But I cannot listen to Radio Biafra and somebody comes to say we are gossiping. No, that I will totally object to it. We will come here, you lecture us, we contribute our minds to what you say. So it's what I mean. So what I'm saying today, I want to say is that when it comes to DOS, when our leader used to preach, he made some comments that I think I have gone with for all the years. That we in the members of DOS, that no matter what you're saying, we will keep quiet. We will not going to take everything that you said. We take the ones that is going to help us. We take some of them on board. So I want to beg the members of DOS. Like I feel that there were few things that happened on the radio that might also upset some few people that are not following what we are doing very, very well. Whenever anyone makes a comment or come to radio and say their mind, DOS should not entertain to come to the radio to actually correct them. And maybe when you're trying to correct them, you get angry and say something that the person will come up on the another platform to say. Because I remember that a few days, these are things that are dividing us. We need to say this we cannot do. So in case there is something that someone is saying and is trying to push people away, you can use the radio presenter or call some people to go to the radio and say, no, this is not who we are as people. But when a member of DOS comes to the radio to defend what a particular person is saying in their mind, of maybe how action we need to take. That person might be saying that because the way they feel in their heart. But that's not the roadmap of our leader. No, that's not the roadmap of our of the deal that our leader has given to them. So these are things that I would have loved. The people on social media saying whatever they are saying. I would like our people to listen to what they are saying a little bit. But can't you take it in context and see what did our leader say? Are they following the footsteps what our leader said? Or are these people trying to divide your mind? So when you find out that these things are not objective to what our leader has been preaching, you get away from the platform, continue listening to Radio Biafra. Because most of the instruction come from DOS. I believe that our leader is part of it. Even though that he is where he is. When you look at him from the prison, from the court, the action that he took shows you that he's in charge. He's not a person that you can put behind. He's not a person who cannot say what is in mind and give instructions. So we cannot go around listening to people on social media who tend to divide our people, and you keep on listening there and you make it as if this is what is happening. It's not what is happening. The ESN are doing very well. All we need to do is to support them, but not to bring what is happening there as if that is the opinion of Biafrans. Because I'm sure it's not a lot of people that are listening to it. Let's see how we can bring ourselves together. People that are grieved, if they repent, if they are fired or they are removed from the IPOB, when they do very well, we reconcile with them. DOS should reconcile with them. But when they are continue following the people, we say these people are causing confusion. These are part of the problem our leader had before it was the rendition to Nigeria. Then those people, you leave them. Those ones that follow them, let them go. But those ones that are being misled into what they were doing, we look at them, we come back to them, or they beg and say, no, we are deceived. We can see how we can reconcile them and bring back to the code. Because in togetherness, we will do it better than when we are separated from each other. That's all I have to say, my leader. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mazi. That was a brilliant contribution. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much, my dear brother, MAZI TAMI REMI. Can I go ahead, sir?
Please go ahead. You have 2 minutes for your contribution because of our time.
Yes, I would go ahead, Mazi. My name is Desmond, and I'm calling you from Italy. I will not understand. What I want to say is I want to appreciate you for the good work. This morning, you after your lecture, you said something. The last part of your lecture is very, very interesting, which is where you intimated about the support of ESN, the good work they are doing, and everything. And that is where I want to stand this morning, because I want to make this thing very, very clear that at the crucial stage of this our struggle, if there is anybody, any Biafran, I didn't even say any member, I said any Biafran or any friend of Biafran who is not supporting ESN in one way or the other, especially financially, you are not doing us any good and you are not helping us, and we please call on you to indulge yourself in this service and support ESN. So therefore, for Biafrans in Italy, friends of Biafrans and lovers of our freedom, to support ESN, please, these numbers are from IPOB National Body, signed by the IPOB National Coordinator of Italy. And you have to call this number and you will be directed on how to support ESN as well. The first number is +39 35100 46055. I repeat, +39 35100 46055. This number is for IPOB National Coordinator in Italy. The second is +39 3512 551274. +39 3512 551274. This number is for IPOB National PRO in Italy. Any of the number you call will be directed on how to support ESN. You have seen the press release from our both barristers, and what our leader is going through in the hand of the DSS. And I believe every Biafran around the world should have it in mind that now is the time that we are supposed to do what we are supposed to do, because the life and the health of our leader is very, very important to this struggle and to anything we are doing. So I want people to start in any way they can. And I've said this before, every village in Biafra land must have their own vigilante and have connection. There must be a security network across the whole of Biafra land, and we must be prepared, and we will start now. There is no longer time, because our leader cannot be the DSS perspective and crying and be here and be quiet. It cannot happen. This cannot happen. And I want everybody to know that this is the time for us to do whatsoever it is that we have to make sure that our leader is released. Anything we have to do, anything, it doesn't matter. Because the life of our leader is very, very important to the Biafra struggle, and it's very, very important to the Biafra people. This is my own submission this morning. Thank you very much, MAZI TAMI, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me call in this caller. Let me bring in this caller. He has been trying to call into this program. Hello.
The Biafrans, this is Nnamdi, the Central and North African Rep, calling. I want to say hello to everybody and also on certain issues. When you go to social media, collect things, this is what we have been saying. You don't just bring it up in Radio Biafra and say, I had this, that this person. You go and settle it there. That's the main issue. That is the issue there. When you go and bring up something, you copy it from WhatsApp or Facebook, then you come back, you want to come and dilute it Biafra. You say no. That's the issue. We don't have any problem with anybody. DOS has no problem with anybody. But you cannot just come and maybe started writing, started talking anyhow you like, saying this is not what our leader do ask people. When you want to, I had this person say, gossipers. You listen to gossip, don't come to Radio Biafra and also contaminate others. Those things is not good. Let everybody support what we are doing. Be under one command. Be under one control of the DOS. If you want, if you don't want, go away. Go and do your own. Our leader said, if you know you can bring Biafra, that's good and fine. That's good and fine. We have other places. Our leader, when he saw that he is not comfortable with the system of Mazop, he left Mazop and IPOB started. The same thing. If you feel that you are not comfortable with IPOB, go and settle it on your own. Stop disturbing IPOB. Stop distracting people. Mazi, this is what I want to contribute. Our people, those that have the good heart, should come up. Let us join hands. Let us build up this thing. Let us fight it for once and for all. Nobody is happy living in another man's country. Nobody is happy being molested every day. But we are forced to accept those things because we have no place to go. Look at the killings. Look at what is happening in our place. Look at the things our people are passing through. There's somewhere there. Maybe issue of I want to be a leader. If you want to be a leader, if you want to show that quality of a good leader, then you come up, join the struggle. It's God that uplifts. Once you have that quality and God wants you to lead, you will come up. Nothing will block you. Nobody will block you. But once you are going through the back door, it won't work like that. My African rep, I say thank you very much. I want to thank you also. I thank also the Directorate of State. I thank also all the national and the deputy coordinators, all the executives. I want also to thank those in Central and North African region and other regions. Please, let's keep the fire burning because the Lord is with us. Our leader must surely come out. The Lord will be with him and be with all true and genuine freedom fighters. Thank you, my African rep.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. God bless you.
God bless you.
Yeah. The lines are open and we are still here and we are receiving calls from Biafrans all over the world. Okay, and let me see. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning.
MAZI TAMI REMI. This is Iverson from Biafra land. I appreciate you for your good work this morning. I just want to air my voice as well, according to what is happening around us. And I want to call on all Biafrans. Let us all understand that this thing which we are doing is not a man's business, it's God's business. And God is in heaven, is watching the activity, every bit of anything any man is doing in this struggle. And he is watching on even the words, the comments we are making. So don't just go and hide somewhere and be criticizing what IPB is making to make this struggle forward. That will provoke God's anger on you that is doing it. Please, I want to call on you. If you know that your intention is to come and attack and scatter and try to draw things back, nothing will save you from hand of God. God's hand is in this struggle. God's presence is with us in this struggle. So I am sounding this warning to as many who are trying to create confusion in this struggle. Just redress yourself, save yourself by keeping off from what you are doing. Only if you don't know what to do, just go and hide yourself and keep your mouth, keep everything shut, and be watching on how it's playing out. So that is what I'm trying to say this morning, so that you don't cause yourself what may destroy your life by yourself. So because God's anger is not like that of Nnamdi, it's not like that of the Chike, not like that of even the Fulanis that can come to kill and destroy people. God's anger is very fierce. I want to warn all that may be hearing me now, who knows that you have evil intention in this struggle. Keep off. Just keep off. That is just what I want to drop, my brother. Thank you, and God bless you. Continue your good work. We appreciate your teaching so much. Thank you so much, MAZI.
Thank you very much, my brother. God bless you. We must proceed. We must continue. Let us take this call. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, my brother. African Rep. Good morning. I am MAZI TAMI. I am from Abajen, local government, Biafra. I'm calling from my location. My brother, may him bless you. Biafra is here and nobody will stop it. MAZI, you see, I'm not talking about, there is people that go to Facebook and castigate. They have desired to perish and they have desired to die. Even there is Ipob adage that said, some of people come in the platform of IPOP to make business. Some come up to make fame. Some come to make proud. But they don't know that this agenda is designed by God, the creator of heaven and earth. There is a word that MAZI Nnamdi said, 2014. He said that you see Biafra, after Biafra comes, many people begin to die. Many don't die. I'm not afraid because of some people they cannot listen. So if you tell them, some people want to see God, they want to see God face to face. They think that, forget that God is not a human being, he's a spirit. So many of them die. And some Biafra created when didn't tell about Biafra. Biafra had existed in a system Biafra created before he said, do you know me? That is how we know all this
Hello, MAZI, you seem to be having some network challenge. Seems to be having some network challenge, and we have to, maybe we'll have to continue another time with him. We have some people calling from Skype. And let me see if I can call this Skype caller back. Good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast.
Good morning, MAZI TAMI, my Africa rep. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, brother. Thank you for what you are doing for Biafrans. My name is I'm calling from South Africa here, Africa Sud is South Africa. My brother, I wanted just to chip in on what you are talking this morning and what you are doing to us, what you are doing for us in this citadel of knowledge, spirituality, and prosperity also. You know why I called is that, you know, about this Radio Biafra, you know what you are doing for us, and you know what it takes you. After, why you will know that this Radio Biafra, if this Radio Biafra off for at least 2 days, some of our people will get mad. Somebody like me, I will get mad. I'm telling you the truth, because that's the only news that I hear. As I'm speaking to you, Radio Biafra is on my ear from morning till in the night, unless I fall asleep. So the reason why I'm saying it is that, and you yourself anchoring this Radio Biafra, you can see now that if immediately you drop, if you wanted to know what you are doing and how stressful it is on this Radio Biafra, immediately you drop now, go and check your high blood pressure. You will see that it's high, a little bit high, because of the work we are doing there. So somebody should not come here, one of our brothers. I know it's not easy. That's what we should know. Somebody should not come here and use Vagua word when you say that we are gossiping. There is that word gossiping should not be repeated on Radio Biafra. Even though you are advising us, don't use that word gossiping, because nobody is gossiping here. We know what you are doing. And you talking about DOS. The press release was released only yesterday, 18th. What did you want DOS to talk immediately? Do you want DOS to come and make a statement immediately today without going through the press statement, without asking what is the problem, how can they go in, what is the way to solve the problem? Somebody will come now, pick phone and started saying that DOS is wasting time, DOS must do it immediately. And when DOS go now and talk something, then the following day, tomorrow, the Zoom will comply and do what DOS want. And DOS will say, stop that thing that we want you to do. People will now start complaining about DOS. Please, my brother, we must be professional here. We must think. DOS are also human beings. We must help them so that they will carry us along. Let us wait. When there are press statements like this, the DOS have to go through it. They have to look up and down, study it. Even the lawyer himself will also study it, even though they give the press statement, but they have to look at it and know the way forward. Somebody should not just come and say we are gossiping.
Giulia ha approfittato delle offerte fino al 50% della settimana del Black Friday di Amazon, quindi ora lei è una perfetta padrona di casa, e con il suo nuovo set da 90 posate tutti sono i benvenuti alla sua tavola.
You are our brother, you are advising us, but don't use Vagua word. That word, gossip, nobody should use it here in Radio Biafra. Stop using that word, gossip. Citadel of knowledge and prosperity. That is Radio Biafra. This Radio Biafra is the only thing we have. So nobody should come here and say that we are gossiping. Thank you, my MAZI TAMI, for taking my call. God bless you for what you are doing for Radio Biafra, what you are doing for IPOB, what you are doing for the whole Biafrans. I thank you. IPOB, you are my blood. God bless you all. Thank you. Biafrans, I love you. Bye.
Thank you very much, MAZI. Thank you very much. God bless you. And we are rounding off today's program. We are rounding off what we have for today. We are running towards the end of our program for today. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast.
network, the Zoom network cut me off. One thing that I said before the Zoom cut me off is not this radio Biafra is spiritual, but people doesn't know. And I ask people, how this radio is controlling the radio, but people doesn't think like that. You know.
Hello.
Directors say our people Uzuma BK. No. In their family, they cannot control their family where they cannot talk about the no, they will stop the on both sides. Because the pastors and preachers are preaching for Israel. That is slow. Some of them said that they are fighting for Mazi, but tomorrow we see them in beer parlor drinking beer here and here. I am in agony. Somebody that is in agony, did you drink beer? The person you are following, is he drink beer? Is he drink alcohol? But some people doesn't reason why I'm a flower from Nnamdi. I'm this stuff from Nnamdi. Do you behave like Nnamdi? Do you speak like Nnamdi? Your action is like Nnamdi. Mazi, may Lord bless you. Nobody will stop this quest. It's an agenda of God, and not everybody will enter Biafra land. The kingdom of God, many are called, few are choosing. Not everybody will enter this kingdom. The people who are just come inside and begin to talk, giving order. When you reach to order, you will see all of them, they will back up. Some of them are here so doing saboteurs, selling their brothers 2,000, 3,000. Give order. If you give order, you will use the order and sell your order. Is it not our people that said AM radio? Betray the AM radio. The DSS come and carry it. Mazi, may Lord bless you. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mazi. I am sorry we will not be able to.
The DSS come and carry it. Mazi, may Lord bless you. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mazi. I am sorry we will not be able to.
Betray the AM radio. The DSS come and carry it. Mazi, may Lord bless you. God bless you, my brother.
Thank
I am not a Nigerian. I renounced everything to do with Nigeria on or around December of 2015. I am a Biafran and I hold British citizenship. Only upon a clear pronouncement of the intentions of that very court, which I suggest to them, should be free of any interference from the executive, will this very case move forward. The circumstances surrounding the invasion of my house, the invasion of the home of His Royal Majesty, is Israel Okukan. You must know that my father's name is Israel, and it means a lot. Going forward, there must be guarantees by the international community so that this case can proceed, and I will prove once and for all that there is something fundamentally wrong with the brain of those that run Nigeria, because I will demolish them in a court of law. For now, let me restate my position that I committed no offenses known to law. What they're charging me with doesn't exist, and they know it. I have no weapon. My only weapon is a microphone. And my courage that Chukwu Kabiama gave me. But it's up to those who persecute me to see reason to call their troops home. Let me state also categorically that IPOB worldwide is committed to the liberation of the land of Biafra from the shackles of tyranny. And we will not relent until a referendum is conducted. If you want us to do anything with you, if you want us to conduct any form of participation in whatever it is that you're doing, there must be a referendum to decide the quest for self-determination for Biafrans. That is our red line. It is not negotiable. We intend to achieve our goal through any means recognized by national and international laws. My fellow Biafrans, my compatriots, please indulge me to sincerely thank the State of Israel, the persecuted Jewish community in Biafra land, and Israel, and worldwide, who through their prayers and actions contributed in no small measure in assuring my physical safety and well-being. May Chukwu Okike Abiama bless the land of Biafra. May Chukwu Okike Abiama bless the land of Israel. Our destiny is before us, and nothing is going to alter that very path. Southeast and South-South are one. There is nothing like Niger Delta. There is nothing like South-South. There is nothing like Southeast. All we have is Biafra. Our mothers in Akwa Ibom protested. Our mothers in Iguacha protested and are still protesting. Okonko is an Annan culture. Abariba people are descended from Akwa Ibom, Ibibio land. Ekpe is of Efik culture. But you find all these things in Igbo land. The divide and rule tactics of the colonial era and the internal hegemonic tendencies of Kowari One North have perpetuated these historical distortions. IPOB stands on the truth. We do not move from our position. And our position is very simple. Without referendum, nothing will happen. They are registering little children in the north as usual. They are doing all they can to hold the people down in bondage. IPOB will not participate in such charade. It is not possible. We are civilized people and we play by civilized rules. There is nothing anybody can do to dissuade IPOB from following this path of total liberation of the land of Biafra. It is sacrosanct. It is not negotiable. My fellow Biafrans, as I've always said to you before, and I will continue to reiterate, those of you that stayed the course during my absence, my enforced absence, those of you who diligently pursued the path of truth and of hard work and of discipline and application will be rewarded with the coming of a free Biafra. We are not like other people. Because as I once reminded you before we came, there was nobody like us. Now that we are here, they pretend, they copy, they emulate, they fabricate falsehood. But they can never be like us. Long after we are gone, they will wish we lived forever. IPOB is very special. Exceptionally special. The largest mass movement in the whole world, bar none. And we did it because Chukwokika Abiyama is with us. We did it because Chukwokika Abiyama created IPOB himself. And we are here to pilot its affairs. We will not prevaricate. We will not stop. We will not slumber until Biafra is fully restored to its former glory. Anybody in doubt as to our resilience and our determination to restore Biafra is not only mistaken, not only misguided, but needs to see a psychiatrist. Because we are not stopping. I am Nnamdi Kanu and I don't stop until I get what I want. Thankfully, my enemies know this. And they know what is to come. I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. And I wish to remind you, all of you that played a very pivotal role in defending justice and fairness, like Pa Ayo Adebanjo, these are truthful people. And I must also add Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. And I must also wish him a very happy birthday. All the forces of darkness must crumble before us. And let me assure you that I am coming. I am coming, and nothing can stop Biafra from re-emerging. Absolutely nothing. Let me close by saying this. Everybody should pay particular attention. In my distress I cried unto Elohim. Adonai El Shaddai Chukwokika Abiyama Purimi Henino Nyenne Fanagi Mefarose. I'm not an idol worshipper. Chukwokika Abiyama will kill me any day I do. I came to Jerusalem, you call it Jerusalem, where I prayed many years ago, and I had this revelation that Biafra will be restored. There is only one creator, not two, not three, not four, only one. If only our people can understand it. If only our people can follow the light, they will be liberated, but we are getting there. Deliver my soul, O Elohim, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue, those of them that lie and deceive. We don't know what shall be given to them, or what shall be done to them, those with their false tongues, those that lie and deceive. Sharp arrows of the mighty, with the coals of juniper. Woe is me, that I sojourn in the lands of the unbelievers, that I dwell in the tents of those who cannot reason. My soul hath long dwelt with them that hate peace. I am for peace. I, Nnamdi Kanu, is for peace. But when I speak, they are for war. Ka Chukwu okike Abiyama pụrụ m ihe niile bụ onye anyị na-efe. Onye na-adịgide nsọ wee ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Usu niile nke ndị agha onye nna-akpọku gbara asaa ụbọchị niile. Onye kere eluigwe n'ụwa. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị. Chineke nna nke kere ihe niile kere eke mana o nweghị onye kere ya. Onye anyị na-etu ebighị ebi shall be with this IPOB, this noble family of IPOB, till the restoration of Biafra and beyond. All this I pray in the name of the Most High that liveth forever, Hashem. now and forevermore. Ise, Ise, Ise.
Country, it would be all over the news. We see nothing on our news at all. You've got a British citizen in MAZI Kanu who's in court today. He was kidnapped in another Commonwealth country, Kenya. He was tortured for 8 days and then extraordinary rendition back to Nigeria. He's a British citizen. He travelled on a British passport, and yet to this day nobody from the High Commission in Abuja has visited him. Why? Why has nobody from the High Commission in Nigeria, in Abuja, visited the British citizen called MAZI Kanu? Why? We talk about Britain being a country of justice and a free spirit. It's totally corrupt. Totally corrupt. And if, I'll tell you something now, if Nigeria had no resources, you would let Biafra go. You would let Biafra go because you're still getting 30% of all revenue generated in Nigeria comes to the taxman here. What do you think built all these buildings? What have we got in this country? We've got nothing. We've got absolutely nothing. We've got oil that we're robbing off the Scottish. That's why you don't want Scotland to go free. Because of the oil revenue that you're getting. If Biafra is free, it will bankrupt this country, I'm telling you now. And that's why you don't want to know. In May of this year, there were 679 male youths murdered by the military in Biafra land. In a Commonwealth country, you tell me any other Commonwealth country where nearly 700 people are murdered in 40 days and you don't broadcast it. Why? Why can you keep quiet? The atrocities that are happening there would not be allowed in any other country in the world. And yet you accept it because you're corrupt. You are corrupt to the core. And eventually when Biafra gets its freedom, which he will do, whether you people want it or not, then the truth will come out and it will not look favourable on the UK. Because when the UK loses all its interest in Africa, which again, it will do because the African countries are sick of being ruled by corrupt people. And the biggest corruption of all is from the UK. No two ways about it. And when the African countries are free, nobody will come to bail out the UK. I'm telling you now, because of everything you've done throughout the world. We say you can't rewrite history. No, you can't. But you can try and change the future. And you have no regard whatsoever for human life. It's as simple as that. You talk about Black Lives Matter. It matters nothing to you whatsoever. In fact, no lives matter to you as long as it doesn't affect the ruling of your resources, which you're getting from the African countries. So, but we'll be back here. We'll be back here again, and we'll be back here until you listen and you allow Biafra a referendum, and they will be free. God bless. All hail Biafra.
To the working group on arbitrary detention in Geneva, the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice in The Hague, the U.S. Congress to impose sanctions on Nigeria. Very good, sir. Conforms to internationally recognized human rights to which Nigeria has already subscribed to enforce its own constitution. I have seldom seen such open, notorious lawlessness. I underscore, it is very clear. They signaled out me when I was the one who was approaching to enter the courtroom. They said, Mr. Fine, you can't go in. Everybody else was able to go in. For whatever reason, they put me on a blacklist, if you will, said no, they fear that if the law applies, Nnamdi Kanu goes free. And that is exactly what ought to happen, because the law does require that he go free. And the international community now is obligated to put the sunshine on the Nigerian judiciary and ensure that if justice is not done, there will be a price to pay. The judge herself may be subject to prosecution before the International Criminal Court.
Very good, sir.
Judges are not free from criminality. The Nazi judges that implemented the Holocaust decrees against the Jews, they were prosecuted at Nuremberg. And if the Nigerian judges follow suit, they similarly are going to risk prosecution.
Yes. Your name, sir? Your name, sir? Thank you.
My name is Bruce, B-R-U-C, Fine, F-E-I-N. I'm from Washington, D.C. This is the 5th time I've been here in the last several months.
Yes, let me address you on behalf of Ohanes and Ipob. We sent a large delegation. We sent a large delegation of Ohanes and the Igbo traditional rulers. They flew in from outside Abuja and they were not allowed to cross these gates. I was the only one allowed to go in, and we were not allowed to go to court. Let me give a position of Ohanese. Justice must not only be done, but must be seen to have been done. Esoteric trial cannot stand in this day and age. Lawyers and judges all belong to the same procession. And to this we say we want justice and nothing but justice. Nnamdi Kanu must go free. That's our submission. I am Chief Godwin Wazurike. I'm a lawyer to Ohanes.